grace of God, we see that we complete the class today so that we can prepare for exams ahead of time. I wish you success in your forthcoming exam. Last week, I think, can somebody just remind us where we stopped last week? But I'm already sweating as I'm here. Now, what will happen? Does that mean this class will not? I think we are starting on theory today. Am I correct? Hello? Hello, please, somebody to speak with me. Hello?
So we're starting from theory.
Yes.
From theory, Abby?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we finish on advocacy. So let's look at theory. I believe majority of us, if not all of us, must have done our first degree, either diploma or any kind of program before we were qualified for this program. So I believe you must have used theory one way or the other. Or this is not the first time we are hearing about theory. That I'm very, very sure of. So can somebody just tell us what he or she understand by theory? What, just, explanation. What do you understand theory to be? Anybody in the house, please? Theory.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. Last week you told us that theory gives strength to our arguments. So that means theories are created by some scholars. And when you want to argue maybe when you want to argue in their way, or when you want to support whatever you want to talk about, you can refer.
In relation to what they have done.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In relation to what they have done. So to support your own argument, you give it base. So on that, you stand and you continue your argument. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So this shows that this explanation you gave shows that I have talked about theory in this class. So that means we are free to go. Theory gives strength, and that helps you to give power to your own argument too. It helps you to give power to your own argument according to SYZ in and anybody you tell that, we know that you have a foundation where you are coming from, or there is a base for your argument. That is it. Social work theory refers to various systems created to help understand and explain human behavior. They were developed over time, incorporating knowledge from professionals within a variety of disciplines, including psychology and sociology. Additional contributions to social work theories and models come from other fields such as psychoanalysis, economics, and philosophy. I want you to know that social work is riding on both theory and models. If you are doing any work, you're expected to have at least two theories, or a theory and a model. And I
Can anyone hear the lecturer talking?
No, I'm not hearing the lecturer again.
I thought it was from my end. Okay, thank you.
It's network.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
We just heard you now, sir. We've not been hearing anything since.
My good God. Thank God somebody said it was network. But can you hear me loud and clear now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I was talking about theory, and I was also talking about models. I said the field of social work depends on both theories and models. Theories are theoretical based, while models are practical based. They are empirical. Models are steps to take in your intervention. They are empirical. And I said, it's either you go by two theories or you pick a theory and a model, at least in any study you are conducting. This will give strength to your argument and to the work you are doing, that work of intervention. So I said here that additional contribution to social work theories and models come from other fields such as psychoanalysis, economics, and philosophy. Social work theories provide social workers with unified methods for understanding and describing the motivations, impulses, personalities, and forces that affect how a person behaves. That is what theory does. It is a unified method that if you are handling a case and you tell me this is the method you are using, and I'm telling you this is the method I'm using, we know where we are heading to, because it is a universal principle. It is not that theory, it is for me alone. No, there's nothing like theory for me alone. Anything that is called theory is generalized, is known by all in that field, even fields that are related. Like we said, social work has borrowed theories from sociology, from psychology, even from other fields of economics and others. So you can't say this theory is only working for me, is according to me. No, it's not done that way. So theory is something that is universal. It is a general principle that everybody in that field, in that profession, must know about. So you can't say you are a social worker and you are void of theories of this profession. It is expected of you and I to make sure that we have understanding of theories. It helps us. It will help us a lot to make sure that we stand as professional that we claim to be. So they help us, in describing motivation. For example, if I'm here talking about Marxism, or I'm here talking about stick and carrot theories, or theory S and Y, McGregor, theories of development, you will understand that even if somebody who has not read my work, know that this is what I'm talking about and this story I'm looking at, he will have the idea of where I'm going to. He will have the idea of my argument. So like I said, theories help us to describe the motivation, the impulses, the personalities and forces that affect how a person behaves. The theories are based on research. Nobody arrives at a theory by sitting down in his house and say, okay, I've come up with a theory. It has to do with after a series of study, and you now come up with that principle, with that, theory tested and trusted. You must have applied it over and over before you claim that, okay, this is a theory, it has been tested and it is trusted. So theories are based on research and observation that are supported by scientific evidences. By applying social work theories and perspectives to their work, social work professionals may help clients overcome challenges and improve the quality of their lives. If theories are well, used, and if they are used appropriately, not using wrong theory. If the right theory is being applied, definitely the desired result will be gotten. So I want to look at why is theory important in social work. Social work theories help social workers analyze cases, understand claims, create interventions, predict interventions results, and evaluate outcome. Like I said, I'm an industrial social worker. I'm also an industrial sociologist. And I will always talk about the theory of Karl Marx, the issue of the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. If you tell me you are using conflict theory, another conflict theory is the theory of feminism. And if you look at the theory of feminism, it's also divided into about 4 or 5. You have black feminists, you have liberal feminists, you have Marxist feminists, you have radical feminists. And all of them stand for different things. So if you tell me that what you are looking at is radical feminism, I know where you are going to without reading your work, because I know what the radical feminists are saying and what they are demanding for. I know what their demands are. The radical feminists believe that the problem we are having in the society today are caused by men. Therefore, anything that is called patriarchy should be removed. And patriarchy should be replaced with matriarchy. And when you're talking about matriarchy and patriarchy, you are talking about power. The radical feminists strongly believe that it is because the power vested in the hand of men. That is why women are so much, trampled upon. And they said the only solution is to replace patriarchy with matriarchy. So if you are telling me that you are a radical feminist, I know what you are saying already, even before you open your mouth to talk. And if it's okay, you are a black feminist, I know what you are saying. So having understanding of all these theories, you will know the direction of an argument. I don't know if I'm making sense at all. So like we said, theories give, strength. It helps you in intervention results and evaluate outcomes. While the theories are constantly evolving as new evidence or evidences are produced, reinforcing social work theories that have been used over time enable social workers to explore causes of behavior and identify potential solutions. Yes, theories are changing. For example, we have what we call modernist theory, modernism. But after that, we have what we call postmodernism. That tells you a step above modernism. So that tells you theories are evolving. But this is telling you that still having the knowledge of the existing one will still help you to give arguments, to help identify the potential solutions, and to also help you to assist your clients. A crucial objective of learning social work theories is to train and encourage social workers to set aside personal assumptions and beliefs when engaging in social work practice. Like we said, that nobody can say this is my personal theory. And by the time you pick on a particular theory, it shows that your personal view is not counting. Your sentiment has been dropped because everybody understands that theory. So by the time you are going with one theory or the other, personal sentiment is dropped. Ideally, when you are picking any theory or any project or any research topic, there is no way you can take away sentiment. For you to have picked that topic, you have an interest in it. But you must be able to say, this is where your sentiment or your prejudice lies in this work. But we need to be objective as possible. Objectivity is the key. If not, your personal sentiment will rubbish your work as a researcher. So a crucial objective of learning social work theories is to train and encourage social workers to set aside personal assumptions and beliefs when engaging in social work practice. Social workers should use evidence-based theories to investigate issues and drive their decision-making. Talk about applying social work theories to practice. Social work theory provides a starting point for social workers to address clients' problems through a research-based lens. The theories help social workers better understand complex human behaviors and social environments, which influence their clients' lives and the challenges they face. A good grasp of theory that is backed by research-based scientific evidence helps guide social workers by providing them with a sense of direction and purpose. One challenge when applying social work theories to practice is choosing the right theory. I've said that before now. When you choose the right theory, you will get the expected result. So one challenge when applying social work theories to practice is choosing the right theory for the situation. It can be difficult to assign a single theory to complex client issues, meaning that you can have more than one theory. We have what we call theoretical framework. We have review of theories, conceptual framework. So in your theories, you can review different theories, theoretical review. You can review different theories that go along with your work, at least, but there must be a particular one that is so much in support of what you are doing. So you can review theories, theoretical review, empirical review, work that has been done by other people empirically, your theoretical aspect that speak about your work which other people must have done. Then you pick one that it is not out of place when you have more than one theory in your work. Often, it is more practical to draw upon the knowledge of multiple theories and use that understanding to design a multifaceted intervention. Now, let's look at least, before I continue, I don't know if anybody has any question from the explanation we had so far. Hello, please, let's talk. Hello. This is not a monologue, it is a class.
Sir, we are with you.
So
We
I'm
are
asking,
with you.
We are with you.
As God is with all of us.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just needed a little explanation more on why theories are so important to social work. I didn't really get it.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. When I asked at the beginning of this class, that can anybody tell us what he or she understood from the last class when we ended the last class, because I talked about theory. And the first person said something. Were you in the class when that woman said something, when she gave awareness, our understanding of theory? Were you in the class? Have you joined the class then? Hello?
No, sir, I've not joined then because my network
Okay.
was not stable.
Okay, what you said was this, and that was my explanation last week. Their theories give strength to your argument. Theory give power to your intervention. Meaning that you are telling somebody that what you are doing according to SYZ, who is an authority in this field. When you say according to Karl Marx, whatever you are saying, people will listen that, let's hear what this woman is saying. Even when you tell me according to Karl Marx, I know you are talking about conflict. You are telling me there is conflict. You get it? Because I know
Yes,
Karl
sir.
Marx to be a conflict theorist. And when you tell me according to Emily Durkheim, according to Taco Passy, I know you want to talk about harmony in the society. Those, like Taco Passy and Emily Durkheim, they are consensus theorists. They believe there is consensus in the society. Why Karl Marx believe there is conflict? That's why we call them conflict theorists. And this one, consensus theorists. They believe there is agreement in the society. We cannot begin to argue both of them, but that is what these theories stand for. And their theories give strength to your argument. For example, if you are telling me that there is problem between the workers and the employers, I know you are bringing in conflict, and you are going to use conflict theories that the bourgeoisie are trampling upon the right of the proletariat, that the rich doesn't want the poor to be rich, so that they can have somebody who is answering them, sir. When you bring in conflict argument. So theories give strength to your argument. It is not what anybody just sat down and just came up. It is done after a series of research, scientific-based research, and evidence-based research. So that is why in the field of social work, theory is also important, because it helps you to understand what your client is going through. And whatever argument or conclusion you are going to put forward, it is still going to be evidence-based on theory of what has been done before. I don't know if I've been able to explain that to you, madam.
Yes, sir. I got that.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other person before I proceed? Question time, I'm asking. Any other person?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
ma'am.
you talked about multiple theories.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to know how can we apply that, sir?
Well,
Thank you, sir.
It all depends on the case you are handling. It all depends on the research work you are doing. Okay, we have not talked about types of theories now because that is where we are going to. You will see that for a particular case, you might be looking at two theories. You get it? You may be looking at a comparative study. You know what we call comparative study? Maybe you want to compare 2 or 3 cases or 2 or more cases. That can call for multiple theories to give strength and to help your argument. You get it? So you can use a theory and a model, like we said. So let's dive into types of theories in social work. Then we can see a situation whereby you can use 2 or you can use more. Can we forge ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go. Okay, thank you very much. So
Thank
now
you,
let's
sir.
look at list of social work theories. Social work is referred to as a helping profession, as one of the main focuses is improving clients' well-being. There is also an aspect of social justice in social work, given that this field often specializes in helping people who are vulnerable or oppressed. There are multiple social work theories of human behavior that professionals can apply in their daily work. Some common social work theories in use today include the following: social learning theory, systems theory, psychosocial development theory, psychodynamic theory, social exchange theory, rational choice theory. Let's just look at these 6 because this
Sir, you were
class,
so fast, though, sir. Sir, please, you were so
you have
fast.
the material now, madam. You have the material with you, am I correct?
Material is on the group. Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, sir.
I've sent it now.
Okay, sir.
I've sent it a long time, about 2 or 3 classes ago. I didn't know you don't have it. Okay, let me take them again if you are putting them down. I said we have social learning theory, systems theory, psychosocial development theory, psychodynamic theory, social exchange theory, rational choice theory. So we are starting with the first one, which is social learning theory. Like I said, or I was about to say, that this is not a theory class. Let's have that at the back of our mind. Because if you are to be theory class, we will have started dealing with theories from the beginning. But this course is a summary of everything that you need to know as a social worker. That is why it is called knowledge, understanding, and skills in social work. So all these we have talked about from the beginning are what you are meant to know to be your what? In your toolbox as a social worker. You must have the understanding of theories. You must have the understanding of different fields of the profession. You must have the understanding of models. At least for you to say, okay, you come out and talk as a social worker. You can't come out as a social worker and say, okay, theory, I don't have anything to do with theory. My own is to just handle cases. No, because the theories will guide you in handling the cases very well. The theories will help you in handling your cases very well. So the first one we want to look at is the first one we want to look at is the social learning theory. Social learning theory. The concept revolves around the idea that people learn by observing and repeating the behaviors they see around them. Now, going to my last question from my assistant lecturer who gave the recap of last class we had. She was asking me why using multiple theories. Now, you are handling a case of children. Do you know that it is very, very key and germane for you to consider social learning theory? That these children, they learn from those people around them, from their parents. That is social learning theory. Then there's another theory that follows, which is systems theory, which talks about different systems that people belong to. The system around you, the family, the school, you know, all these systems that you belong to, your place of work, how they influence your behavior. The social interaction, the religion you have. You can fuse these two theories together, social learning theory, even adults also learn. So there are some cases that you can marry social learning theory and system theories together to give. By the time you begin to talk, you know that this theory fits in here, this theory fits in here. So let me complete the social learning theory. This concept revolves around the idea that people learn by observing and repeating the behaviors they see around them. The social learning theory, also called social cognitive theory, came from psychologist Albert Bandura, who demonstrated that children can learn behaviors they see modeled by adults. For social learning to take place, some conditions need to be met. A child must see the action, want to emulate it, remember it, and have a similar opportunity to act out the behavior. Please, do we all understand what we mean by, or what social learning theory is all about? This is not giving you a note on social learning theory, but for you to have a grasp of what social learning theory is all about. That is why I just put it this way. It is not teaching you theory, but for you to have understanding, for you to know, and for you to have the skills. That is the essence of this class. So do we understand what we mean by social learning theory, everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
sir.
much. Yeah, so let's move to the next one, system theory. Systems theory look at complex systems that influence human behavior. The idea is that no single force completely encompasses or explains human behavior. Instead, individuals are influenced by multiple factors that work together. For somebody to have behaved in a particular way, you may need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things together around it. The family is not working well. There's no love at home. In the place of work, he has just been sacked. You can see those are the systems around the man. Those are the systems we talked about. So you talk about systems theory, you look at things surrounding people and how they have contributed to their behavior. You may look at a man who got married and he was so much in love with the wife. The moment he has a friend, he started keeping late at night. You need to look at the system. Who are the people he's working with now? When did this start? How did your marriage start? Was he doing it before? You need to consider the system around it. A woman will begin to misbehave at home. You need to begin to look at the group she's now keeping, the association she has just joined. You need to look at the system. Who are the people she's working with in her place of work? These are the systems we talk about, and they influence us a great deal in ways and manner we behave. So system theory look at complex systems that influence human behavior. The idea is that no single force completely encompasses or explains human behavior. Instead, individuals are influenced by multiple factors that work together. Systems theory considers factors like family and social interactions, religion, cultural influence, and economic forces. Within systems theory, individual problems are often addressed collectively because of the interconnected nature of the theory. You may see this type of social work theory used in treatment of eating disorder, depression, or similar struggles. I think that is all about system theory, just for us to have grasp of what system theory is all about. Do we understand what system theory is all about?
Sir, I have a question.
Okay, well, I'm hearing, sir.
Yeah, my question goes on the last explanation under the
System theory.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
I didn't get the language interconnected nature of the theory. Is it because that the theory encompasses with various systems where human beings are attached to?
Is that your question, sir?
Yes.
Why it is called systems theory is because human beings belong to more than a system. What we refer to as system here has to do with family, work, religion. You get it?
Yes.
That human being, is a member of. And bringing all these together, they influence our behavior.
Yes, I understood that.
Is that what?
So I understood that the area I am looking at is where you mention about interconnected nature of it. Is it because that it is connected with an individual? That's what my question is, sir.
Is it because
it is interconnected with an individual, a member of that society?
No. Look at, maybe you didn't get what I said. I said within systems theory, individual problems are often addressed collectively because of the interconnected nature of the theory. That means the theory consider all the relationship an individual is having with all these systems he has. Okay, so you can't just look at one. You will have to look at all that it belongs to because they are connected. All these systems are connected. The family connected to the religion connected to the work. Either the work is affecting religion or religion is affecting the work. And if the religion, okay.
I get you now. You're welcome.
You now got it, Tabi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, glory be to God. Because I don't want to move to the next without getting the understanding of one first. So we move to the next one, which is psychosocial development theory. Psychosocial development theory. When you hear psycho and social, it's talking about psychological and social. So we talk about psychosocial development theory. If someone, this has to do with what we face from birth till we get matured, and whatever somebody face from childhood might affect that person. If the development is faulty, if the stages of development is faulty, it might end up to become what that person will be later in life. So when you see somebody who is, I don't know what can I put now? What can I use now? Okay, let me just give this example. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know a woman, she's a grandma now. When she was telling us her story, she said she told herself that she will never get married because she saw the way the father treated her mother. The mother happened to be the first wife, and the father has another wife after the mom. So because the second wife, her love was still glowing and the fire was burning very well. While the mother was away, the father will be telling the young wife, she will put the cane on top of this, maybe on a firelight or something. I'll be telling the wife, that is the cane we will use to beat her when she comes back. referring to the mother of this woman. And she made up her mind that all men are the same. That means our developmental stage was faulty.
Yes.
You get it? Our developmental stage, psychosocial developmental stage was faulty. And she told herself that all men are the same. All men are the same. But God so much helped her. How? Because she went to a boarding school, and during their vacation, she told her mom that she'll be following her friend to Lagos to stay with her for that short holiday. And when she got to their house, she saw the way the father and the mother were relating. You know, the father was following the mom everywhere, going to the kitchen, assisting her in the kitchen. She said, no, this is not true. It's because I've told this lady that I was coming to her house. Then she has told her parent ahead of time. That's why they are behaving the way they are behaving. That men are not like this. Men are not like this. Men are so mean, blah, blah, blah. No, they finished their holiday and she went back. The next time she didn't tell her that she'd be going with her. I know there was no phone. No phone, no way to just write a letter and we get to the house the following day where they be leaving. She now told this lady, this our friend, that I will follow you to your house again for this holiday without giving her plan notification. And they went. You get it? And she still saw the parents doing the same thing. Then she now made up her mind that she concluded that it is not all men that are the same, but her father was only one that chose to be like that. If not that she had the opportunity of following that lady to her house, she will have concluded, like some women will tell you men are scam. Have you not been saying that they talk?
That's so, sir.
But many of you are still living with your husband now, you are enjoying it. Yes, now, let's say the truth. I'm not saying that the moment you got married, everything will be rosy. I know many people here are older than myself in marriage. But we just have to. We are two different people from different backgrounds, and we just need to understand ourselves. I'm not in support of any man playing. You know, I always tell my wife, any man who raises up or his hand to beat a woman, he has something wrong with him. That is my very self. So you can see, once you have psychosocial problems, so once you see a child who is behaving that way or somebody is behaving that way, you know you use a theory called psychosocial development theory. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
For you to unheart the kind of experience such person had when she was growing up or when he was growing up. Some people, they just have phobia. So you need to dig deep into their developmental stages, the time they are growing up. If reading the note, I think I've explained. Hello.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir. All right, sir.
I think that explanation explains psychosocial development.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's clear.
It's clear. With the illustrations, sir, it's clear.
It's very clear, sir.
Anyone hear anything?
No, I hear him again.
The network, I guess.
Yes, yes. The network is bad for now. From where she is now.
I can't hear him too. I think it's the network.
We'll wait.
Okay.
We'll wait.
Thank you. He might even feel we're hearing him. It's possible.
When he comes back, then we will let him know that we have done.
I think network is bad.
Okay, lucky.
We can't hear you, sir.
Is the network? The lecturer is not yet back.
Yeah. The
Okay.
network is bad from his end, where he's lecturing us from. We have plenty work to do.
As the last day of our lecture.
Very plenty from him. This kind of network is not good for us, man.
It's not good for us at all. Anyway.
It is well. It shall all end in praise in Jesus.
We come. We are going to overcome them, but let's get the round off his distance.
We end it well.
What's the other one? It's after 12 already.
Abi, time is up. Maybe this class is to end by 1.
To end by 1. The other one will start by 2. So we still have not less than 1 hour, 30 minutes.
We cover it up, no problem. Let's wait for the lecturers. I'm going to be
I think we are approaching psychodynamic theory now. As soon as he come back for the lecture for 1 hour.
welcome to.
Just be on the track, waiting for him. Yo-yo!
Who is the yo-yo?
Sorry, it's one of my
Don't
boys.
forget to mute your mic.
It's one of my boy that is disturbing.
That is an entertainment while waiting.
One of my disturbing close to me. One of my boy.
Hello.
Sir.
Welcome back.
I was
We are
disconnected.
going to reset things, so.
Come back, sir.
It's like the network was disturbing you, sir.
I waited for the past 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, are we together?
Yeah, we are together, sir.
We are not, sir.
We are
Hello.
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 We are listening. We are listening.
We can hear you, sir. We can hear
Hello,
you. We are
class.
listening.
Can
You are
hear
welcome,
you,
sir.
sir.
But you have gone for a while.
Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
We
Hi.
can hear you, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sir, we can hear
What
you.
is happening now?
Hello, sir. We can hear you.
I can't hear you. If anybody is in class, let me hear you if you are hearing me.
Yes, we can
We
hear
can
you,
hear
sir.
you clearly, clearly, clearly.
Hello.
There's
We
a
can hear
problem
you, sir.
with the network from
You
your
are
end.
welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
I think it's from his end. His network, the
Hello.
network from his own end.
Hi.
Go out.
I know.
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Clearly.
Loud and clear.
It is network. Can you hear? No.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Sir, we can hear you, sir.
We can hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
I can't hear you. I just want to know if you are hearing me.
Yes,
We can hear
sir.
you, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue. The next one is psychodynamic theory. The psychodynamic theory was developed by Sigmund Freud, who is often considered the founder of psychoanalysis. The idea behind the theory is that the conscious and unconscious mind has an effect on how people behave and react. Some of these forces are driven by biology and human nature, like the tendency to seek gratification. Other driving forces come from specific situations, such as early childhood experience. This social work theory of human behavior may be helpful in understanding internal processes that shape personality. You know, when you are looking at this psychodynamic theory, it is something that happened unconsciously.
Yes.
And some they are driven by conscious, by consciousness. So this will help you to understand internal processes that shape personality. And again, you need to also know that these are things that we learn from our early childhood. It's like looking at psychoanalysis, psychosocial development theory. They somehow look alike. It helps you to know the innate mind, the innate ability, or the innate, what is, you just do it unconsciously because it has become part of you even as you are growing up. And there's some attitude or habit that somebody that has already registered that have become part and parcel of someone. You know, in dealing with such, either to undo what that person has, imbibed for a long time, you need to take some steps. And this is where models come in. This is where models come in, practical step, either to undo or to begin to do something. So you need to look at psychodynamic theory for you to know if such attitude or habit are something that are innate to somebody, something that somebody has been living with for a long time. Then you need to employ model practical steps in order to help such person, in order to help such client, to undo what he has done or what he has been doing in the past. Like I said, it will take step. And when you are applying model, you need to have a target, you need to have a duration, then you need to have what we call assessment, or something like monitoring and evaluation. You give your clients a week to demonstrate what you have agreed under your model. You come back, not that you don't live, you live in eternity with the model. There must be a time for assessment to see if what the model you have adopted is working. If that model is not working, you still look at another model. There is a time we are coming to what we call problem solving model in this class. There is a scientific way of solving problems. We get to that. So the next theory we are looking at is social extent theory. Social extent theory. The social extent theory was developed by sociologist George Ormans. The theory suggests that every relationship a person has is based on a cost-benefit analysis. Even in Freetown, nothing is free. Even if you are going into that relationship and say, I'm not collecting anything, I'm just doing it free of charge. Now lie, something is attached. Am I saying the truth?
Yes.
If you are not collecting anything now, you are hoping to collect something in later life. Maybe to continue, what you want to get from that, from what you are doing is relationship. To have a relationship with a person. Maybe in life, later in life, your path may cross. If not you, maybe somebody close to you might need the help of that person. So this is what we call social extent theory. That for whatever you are doing, you have something you want to benefit. So that is what social extent theory is talking about. The theory suggests that every relationship a person has is based on a cross-benefit analysis. In other words, everyone evaluates the rewards of a relationship and weigh them against any cost or risk. When the potential for reward seems high, people tend to keep the relationship. When the potential for reward seems low, people tend to leave. The social extent theory may be used to help understand how clients function within their relationships. Do we understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do we understand that? I just need a response. The next one there is rational choice theory. Rational choice theory. Rational choice theory suggests that every decision is rational from the perspective of the decision maker, even when they are telling you that what you have done is not it. Please, I'm coming. Even when somebody is saying that what you have done is not, appropriate, you may be thinking that you have taken the right decision. Rational choice theory suggests that every decision is rational from the perspective of the decision maker. This is because humans rationally weigh the cost, risk, and reward of every decision before they take action. Even if it may not be apparent to onlookers. Rational choice theory shows that every decision someone makes is supported by thought and reasoning. So that is all about rational choice theory. Even when other people are not seeing what you are saying, you still believe that you've thought about it and you think what you are doing is right. Then we want to look at how is theory applied in social work. How is theory applied in social work? In addition to social work theories, there are practice models. These are roadmaps that help social workers apply social work theories into their daily work. These are the practical aspects. There are multiple practice models. They are common within social work, each one providing a different approach for understanding behavior, resolving issues, and improving outcomes. Your line of work and what you are trying to accomplish may determine which social work models you are most frequently with. For example, some practice models focus on goal setting, while other models focus on the connection between emotions and actions. Together, social work theories and models function as valuable tools for putting theory into action. Since each client's problems, motivation, and issues are unique, no single practice model works for every situation. As a social worker, you may need to assess the client's individual needs to determine which approach is most likely to provide a positive outcome. So that's done with theories and model. Then want to look at problem solving. Problem solving. How do we solve problems? You can't solve problems like non-professionals. You cannot solve problem like somebody who is not a social worker. That's why we have what we call 6-step problem solving model. There are practical steps. That is one model of solving problem. So anybody can solve problem and they will tell you that is the way I want to solve it. But as a social worker, you solve problems scientifically. And that is why we have that 6 steps problem solving model, which will help us to a great deal to know how to solve problems. Problem solving. Problem solving is a practice model that focuses on identifying and solving specific problems in a client's life. Using this model, the social worker and the client work together to clearly define a problem and create an action plan to solve it. Remember, we said models are practical steps that we take in solving a problem or in addressing the client's challenge or challenges. They then evaluate how effective the problem-solving strategy is at resolving the problems. Then there's what we call task-centered practice. Then we also have what we call family-centered practice. So we look at task-centered practice as a model. We look at narrative therapy. We look at cognitive behavior therapy. We look at crisis intervention model. You get it? So let's look at the first one, task-centered practice. Task-centered practice is a model, is a method of guiding clients through resolving issues and achieving goals, one task at a time. Task-centered practice is a method of guiding clients through resolving issues and achieving goals, one task at a time. It's a way of providing solution to the problem of your client by giving a task at a time. You give him this task after a week or thereabouts of or the time you've given the person, it will come back. You see the effect of that task. You give him another task just to make sure that we arrive at a goal. That is why it is called task-centered practice. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I need to get your response, please. I can't just keep talking without knowing if we are on the same page or not.
Yes.
Do you understand that? Thumbs up or
I am enjoying the class.
just to show that we are together.
Sir, we are
Task-centered practice.
Hello, sir.
We are together.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
So,
hello, sir.
I said here, with each task the client completes, they are closer to reaching their larger goal. Instead of digging into the past, the focus of task-centered practice is to find solutions that can help clients address their current problem. Do you understand that? The next one is narrative therapy.
No, sir.
Narrative therapy is to change the narrative of your clients. Just to tell them that you are not what people are saying you are, or what you have seen yourself to be.
Network problem.
What I'm seeing in you is greatness.
We are trying
to change the narrative. Narrative therapy encourages the separation of the person from their problems. That is it. Narrative therapy encourages, you tell the person you are not. This thing will just come and go. I see you coming out great. Narrative therapy encourages the separation of the problem from the person from their problems. This idea is to help clients externalize problem and realize that they are whole and separate from whatever issue they may be experiencing. This is key when we are talking about counseling. Social workers have counseling section, and it is with your narrative therapy that you can talk out your clients you can even talk them out of depression. This is narrative therapy. You talk them out of it from whatever issue they may be experiencing by helping a client to explore their life as if it were a story. Social worker guides them to create a new positive narrative. This approach can help clients gain perspective on issues and feel more empowered to create change. Use narrative therapy. Then we talk about cognitive behavioral therapy. You can see all these are practical steps. They are not theoretical. They are not theoretical. Sorry, I just wanted to sip water. Cognitive behavioral theory. The idea behind cognitive behavioral theory is that people can benefit from understanding the connection between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. By making this connection, people can work to remove self-destructive behaviors and recover from depression or other type of trauma. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Social workers can use cognitive behavioral therapy to help clients identify problems and eliminate thoughts and behaviors that may be leading to negative outcomes. The next one is crisis intervention model. The crisis intervention model is used when clients are experiencing an acute crisis situation. To help social workers evaluate and mitigate the crisis, the model breaks down crisis intervention into 7 stages. Somebody who is having suicidal, thoughts, who is experiencing acute crisis situation. The first thing as a social worker you do is to conduct a psychosocial and lethality assessment. Conduct psychosocial and lethality assessment. You know what psychosocial is all about. The psychology and social environment of this person. Work to quickly build rapport. Somebody was telling me something this week in my place of work that a student who was having, a mental issue, she is not a nurse, neither a social worker, but she was able to use social work skills of which the medical people could not use. And she was the only one who established a rapport with this girl. That to the point that when the medical personnel wanted to attend to this girl, they will have to bring her down to come and stay with her. And whatever she told the girl, she was ready to do. So as a social worker that wants to help such person in such situation, you quickly build a rapport with the person, identify what created the crisis, allow the client to express their thoughts and emotions. Don't shut them down. Even if they are crying, as a social worker, cry is a therapy. The tears they are shedding is releasing the tension in their body. So offer the client alternative ways to cope. Tell the client this is not the end of life. This is not the only way. You can as well adopt this way. Because we're talking about crisis intervention. There is a crisis and it needs intervention. So in order to provide this intervention, these are the 7 steps or stages you need to quickly understand. Offer the client alternative way to cope. Develop an action plan for coping with the crisis. Follow up with the client after initial intervention. This has to do with crisis intervention model. This model is often used for clients that need immediate intervention to prevent self-harm. Like the one I told you, the lady was already the case was already going out of hand, and this woman was able to, come in, and the situation was put under control. We have talked about different models and different, approaches to assist our clients. Now we want to look at what we call 6 practice model in social work. 6 practice model in social work. Okay, before we move down to the final one that we call the 6-step problem solving model. This one has to do with 6 model, 6 practice model in social work. We've talked about cognitive behavioral theory. We talk about practice intervention model that we have explained before. Narrative theory, we talked about it. Problem solving model, we talked about it. Solution focused therapy, we didn't talk about that when we were explaining. We We also talk about task center practice. So we have talked about 5 already. And the 6th one we didn't talk about is solution focused therapy. Solution focused therapy involves the social worker and the client identifying a problem and creating a solution based on the individual strength. If you notice that we're talking about whatever model you are going to give to your client, you must weigh the strength of your client. So based on the individual strength is what solution you are going to, the kind of solution therapy you are going to suggest, because you don't impose anything on your client. When you get to problem solving, the 6 stages to problem solving, you see that you don't impose anything on your client. You come together, you bring different solutions, you tell your client the pros and the cons of each of them. You get it? So, yes, solution based on the individual strength, the client strength. It is short-term practice model that focuses on helping clients cope with the challenges using specific behaviors instead of focusing on changing who a client is. Solution focused therapy attempts to change a client's action in certain situations to achieve more formidable outcomes. Collaborating to create solutions allow the client to play an active role in implementing necessary actions. Like I told you, you don't force anything. You rather collaborate with your client. Let him play active role. Let her play active role in implementing necessary actions and achieving positive change. So we have looked at 6 different models. Then we also look at 6 different theories. Like we said, we look at 6 theories and we also look at 6 models. In all, we have 16. Now we want to focus on 6-step problem-solving models. 6 steps. This is a scientific way of solving problems. I don't know if anybody has any question to ask for the theories and the models we have talked about before we dive into these 6-step problem-solving model. Anybody? Anybody?
Go ahead, sir.
Are we still together? I can see you all in the class.
Hello, sir.
At least about 32 people in the class already.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Lucky.
Sir, can I hear you, sir?
At least I can see you unmuted your mic. I just want to know if we are together, if you are getting what I'm saying, so not just
together,
keep talking without passing any knowledge or understanding to
Hello,
you.
sir.
We are together.
So we look at the 6-step problem-solving model.
This man did not hear us.
A problem is very important for researchers. You know, if you say maybe we not see problem. It is not a prayer of a lawyer. And it's not a prayer of a researcher. Because a researcher will only get his professorship when there is problem to research on. And a lawyer will only make his money when people are having problem. So a problem is very important for researchers, social scientists, and pathologists. That is where they are making their money. So we say, may we not sick. You're only costing a medical doctor. But the truth is that we will not be their patients. That is just it. But for you to say people should not die, you are costing somebody who is making coffee. But God will fulfill the number of our own days. So I'm just telling you that a problem is very important for researchers, social scientists, and pathologists. Problem is defined differently from different academic disciplines. For example, sociology, education, psychology, social pathology, and social work. From the social work perspective, it is when we are having trouble, and due to that, we are not comfortable. It's breaking our daily routine work. and we are trying to come out, but feel like that is not possible, then it is considered as a problem. As problem has a very wide scope. Various extensive literatures available on this. Merriam-Webster dictionary denotes that it is something that is difficult to deal with, something that is a source of trouble, worry, etc. Social worker, writer of the book Social Case Work, a problem-solving process. Ellen Harris Parman, 1957, creates the problem-solving model. She explains in the problem-solving model that a social worker helps individual to identify a problem, and he or she creates action plan to solve the problem and provide solution. According to H.H. Parman's social work perspective, problems are the unmet needs. Problems are the unmet needs. So when our needs are not met, left the same, and those needs grow as problems. So here, our needs and problems have close relation. In this way, we have to understand common dimensions of problems. Sometimes a problematic situation leads us to face problems. And if problem remains same with no solution, can lead us to critical conditions and ultimately create vicious circle around us. Docker 1945 stated that problem arises when a person has specific aim, but he does not know how to achieve it. So to somebody who has a aim and couldn't achieve it according to Dunker, it is a problem. According to this definition, we can analyze problem as a person who has aim but does not know the ways to achieve it. All these are just telling us different definition of problem. A problem is common in a common balance, refers to that barriers, interruption, trouble, issue, dilemma, obstacle, complication, and so on. Every organism has problem on this earth. Unlike any animals, we are human beings. We have problems in our day-to-day life. Problem may be different in nature that interrupts our life and development. Problems are widely divided into three categories. We have individual problem, we have group problem, and we have community problem. Scientific-based solution is needed for all these problems. Scientific-based means systematic and research-based. When we look at individual problem, group problem, and community problem, they all need different approach to them. To individual problem, we talk about micro intervention. To group problem, we talk about meso intervention. And to community problem, we talk about macro intervention. Now we look at what is social problem, or try to explain social problem. For you to say something is social, it means it affects the generality of the population. If you say something is a social something, social problem is a problem that is affecting the generality of a society. A problem you are facing in your family is not social. A problem you are facing that is not affecting the majority of people in your society is not social problem. An example of social problem in Nigeria is poverty. An example of social problem in Nigeria is insecurity. And an example of social problem in Nigeria could be unemployment. These are problems that affect generality of the society. So I say something is something is social means something that affects generality. When you now say social problem, it means a problem that is affecting the generality of the society. So a social problem is any condition or behavior that has negative consequences for large numbers of people, and that is generally recognized as a condition or behavior that needs to be addressed. This definition has both objective components and a subjective component. Can somebody tell us the difference between objective and subjective? I think we've talked about that in this class. The objective component is this: for any condition or behavior to be considered social problem, it must have negative consequences for large number of people. That is the objective component. For anything to be considered problem, that's the objective component, it must have the same negative consequences for large number of people. That is objective component of what we call social problem. A current example is climate change. Although the overwhelming majority of climate scientists say that climate change, that change in the Earth's climate due to the buildup of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is real and serious. Fewer than 2/3 of Americans, 64%, in 2011 polls said that they think that global warming is happening. So this is a problem. In fact, somebody was telling me recently that in a particular state in Nigeria, that for you to have a generator, you collect, what's it called now? All these there's a levy that the state government has placed upon those who are using generator because of what the generator is emitting and which is affecting the ozone layer. I say, my God, for generator, when government has failed to give us light and people are now trying to solve their problem by themselves, we still want to levy, some money on them. So that talks about a problem from the objective point of view, a problem that is seen by the generality of the people that is actually causing problem. These types of disputes point to the subjective component of the definition of social problems. There must be a perception that a condition or behavior needs to be addressed for it to be considered a social problem. If you look at it from the two sides, the objective and the subjective view of social problem, I will tell you that the objective side of social problem is the definition of the common man and the poor people in the society. While the subjective one is the definition of the wealthy and the people in political power. The generality may be crying that it is poverty. They will tell you there is no, where is poverty? Okay, let me give you an example of what Ibadan, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has been so bad for so many years. And the government officials, maybe they don't fly the road, they go by flight to Abuja, to wherever they are going. It was during the time of Olusegun Obasanjo, and Dimeji Bankole was the speaker. And this day, Dimeji Bankole was plying the road in his vehicle and his driver. And he had a terrible incident which claimed the life of his driver. He was, he saved, but he claimed the life of the driver. Do you know the following week they started working on that road? So it is whatever they considered as problem. That is the subjective definition of social problem. It is whatever they considered as problem that it is problem. The people in Abuja, they don't know there is fuel problem in Nigeria.
Of course.
They don't know there is problem of insecurity in Nigeria. That is the subjective definition of social problem. But if you look at the objective definition of social problem, it is the majority who are being affected and they are seeing it as such. I don't know if anybody has any question to ask. Do we understand the distinction between the objective definition of social problem and the subjective definition of social problem? Do we understand that?
Sir, I tend to
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
It's like you have decided not to talk.
Yes.
I'm good at that. I will continue and finish the class. Please, let nobody
Hello,
ask
we
me
are
question.
sir.
Oh.
Yes.
That's okay. Let's go.
Sorry, sir. I want you to go
So
back.
let's go, please. So we talk about the subjective nature
He did not
of
hear us.
what social problem is.
He can't
This
hear us.
concept lies at the heart of the
If
social
all of us can
Not
constructionist,
clear
raise
because of the
social
network.
constructionist view of social
up our hand,
problems.
you will know that there is an
In this view, many types of negative
so that it will not
conditions
be as if
Because of
we
the
and
network
behaviors
is whether
exist. Many of these are considered
Hello, let's
sufficiently
listen. So after the class, we can then ask the
acquire
question.
the status of social
Let's
problem.
listen. Let's
But
listen.
he feels
Some
that
do not receive this consideration, and those do not become social problem. And some become considered a social problem only if citizens, policymakers, and other parties call attention to the condition or behavior. The history of attention given to rape and sexual assault in the United States before and after the 1970s provide an example of this latter situation. These acts of sexual violence against women have probably occurred from the beginning of humanity and certainly were very common in the United States before the 1970s. Although men were sometimes arrested and prosecuted for rape and sexual assault, sexual violence was otherwise ignored by illegal policymakers. Were otherwise ignored by legal policymakers and received little attention in college textbooks and the news media. And many people thought that rape and sexual assault were just something that happened. Thus, although sexual violence existed, it was not considered a social problem. When the contemporary women's movement began in the late 1970s, it soon focused on rape and sexual assault as serious crimes and as manifestations of human inequality. Thanks to this focus, rape and sexual assault eventually entered the public consciousness. Views of these crimes began to change, and legal policymakers began to give them more attention. In short, sexual violence against women became a social problem. Role of social workers in problem solving. Social workers practice in many diverse contexts, and increasingly their job titles are not social worker but child protection officers, meaning that they are doing all this work in problem solving. They may not call them social worker or social workers. You may hear some being called child protection officer, probation officer, and manager. So you will find social workers in child welfare and mental health agencies, working with people with disabilities, in juvenile justice, crime prevention and rehabilitation, residential care, aged care, foster care, and adoption. All these are doing the work of problem solving in their various offices. Generally, we talk about social work practice taking place at various or different levels, and by this is meant social workers work with individuals and families. Direct practice, we can be therapeutic or clinical, though this is less likely within a developmental social work model. With groups of people, we work with individuals, we work with families, we work with group of people, with communities, through group of people advocating on behalf of
network issue again?
Has just emerged. It is like an ash container, ash shake containers that give whatever it asks. That is, social work is ready to do everything, whatever you ask. Meaning that social workers are ready to provide solutions to every problem. So it is like a shake container that gives whatever is asked. And it is like a knapsack on the hand, shoulder. It gives whatever is hard. Despite many other professions, social work is a profession that committed to solve serious individual, group, and community problems and bring positive changes in their lives. It is a profession that deals with both individuals and society problems. Professional social work is focused on problem solving and change. Professional social workers always concerned with the solution or prevention of social problems, such as poverty, unemployment, alcoholism and drug addiction, and urban slum, etc. They utilize theories of human behavior and social systems and intervene at the point where people interact with their environment. They work as change agents in society and live and lives of individuals and families and communities. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mics.
Excuse me, sir. You have not been hearing us since, so all those times that you were calling us and talking to us that we are answering, but you can't hear us. This one is giving us affirmation that you can hear us now.
No problem. I don't know that because I've been shouting, talking, and I didn't hear anybody.
Hey, you went to say they know they drag you, come on.
Madam, please read that mic. Thank you.
I needed your number and they said they drag you.
Who is this now?
The woman tell me. Please, last year I don't do our head.
God.
Colleagues, mute your mics now, please.
They told me that she doesn't come out. Then come out. Then come out. Bola is one woman. She came to my shop last year.
Last year, mute your mic. Oh, they hear you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Me when me get prompted. This kind of
This man will get.
Gladys, please, can you mute your mic? Gladys, mute your mic.
Charge from inside.
It's probably she doesn't know that.
My good God.
So see if you can mute it from your end.
Is it Maxine or who?
Glad.
Okay. So we are here now looking at the sisters problem solving model. That's what we are looking at. We've just looked at what is social problems. So we want to look at role of social workers in problem solving. And that's what we are looking at. So social work, holistic approach. Social work's holistic approach. The first one there is micro level practice. This is at the level a social worker is relating with individual or family. Social work, holistic approach. And the first there is micro level practice. Micro level practice. Working with individuals, families, and small groups as the client system is often called micro level practice. At this level, social workers engage directly. Hello? At this level, Social workers engage directly with the clients and may be involved in counseling or therapy, referral, or direct assistance. For example, in the provision of material aid. The helping process is a partnership which involves the social worker in collaborating or working together with the client. The focus is on the client's strengths, abilities, and potential competencies. Always have it at the back of your mind that you cannot single-handedly solve the problem of your client without the cooperation of your client, which is what we call collaboration. You have to work together with your client. Still at the micro level of practice, a group work approach can be used in helping individuals with common problems. Yes, it is individuals, it is micro level, but you can bring individuals who are having this problem together for them to exchange ideas. It could form as a therapy and they can exchange experience and coping mechanism. So still at the micro level of practice, a group work approach can be used in helping individuals with common problems to meet their needs. The social worker brings together a group of people who may be able to influence one another through sharing their experiences and knowledge, and who can provide mutual support and encouragement. The group is both the context and means through which its members support and modify their attitudes, interpersonal relationships, and abilities to cope effectively with their environment. There is what we call SHG, self-help group. These are people that share the same problems, and this helps them to open up to themselves. And there are two different models of helping them. There is what we call professional models, and there's what we call professional models, whereby you bring in a professional who has never experienced what this group is going through. And that model is not that effective when it is compared with the other method that to do with the people helping themselves. This second method, this second model, the first one is professional model. I've forgotten the name of the other model, but the content of that second model is these people themselves helping themselves by opening up to themselves. Because among these SHG, we have what we call the rookies and we have what we call the veterans. The veterans are there. These are the people who have been in the problem for a longer period than those who are just coming to the problem. For example, if you bring if you bring people who have been living with, please mute your mic, your child is disturbing us. If you bring people who have been living with HIV for a long time together, you will see people who have been in it for 10 years, people who have been in it for 3 years, and some people that are just getting into it. So those who have been in need and they have been surviving are those we refer to as a veteran. And those who are just coming in are those we refer to as the rookies. So the veterans in this SHG self-help group are there to help the rookies, to give them hope that this is not the end of life. You can live with HIV and still live a normal life, provided you are able to do XYZ, and that will keep you going. They give hope to themselves, seeing themselves that this is not the end of life. So you can bring these people together, for them to be sources of encouragement to themselves, and they live freely and they help themselves with everything they have. So you can bring people together, though you are still at the micro level, but you can bring these people together as encouragement for them to have that therapy which they need, the bond which they need. The focus of the group may be on helping members with their individual problems and on enhancing the level of social functioning of its members. For example, helping teenager drug users to change their lifestyle, Other groups may have an educational goal. For example, where parents join a social network in order to improve their parenting skills. You bring parents who are deficient in their parenting skills together, and you bring them together, as a social worker. They begin to rub minds together on how to improve the experience you have with your children. This is what my child is doing. This is, when you bring them together, you are still at the micro level, but you have got people who have the same problem together, and that will help you and help them, to arrive at a solution to individual problems. So all these are done at the micro level. The next level is meso or mid-level practice. Meso or mid-level practice. This level of practice focuses on formal group and complex organization. It is not an individual. It can be you are taking to an organization, a company, a business, big enough, like a complex organization. These might be associations, clubs, self-help group, SHGs, social work agencies, schools, prisons, hospitals, businesses, or industries. All these are seen as complex organizations which include public and private bodies. Generally, their purpose is to coordinate people and resources in order to provide products and or services. In working at this level, the focus of change is the group or organization itself rather than individual members. When you are working at the meso level and working in a complex organization, the focus of change is the group or the organization itself rather than individual members. Yes, when you are addressing the meso level and you are dealing with complex organization, we said the focus of change is the organization itself, meaning that the organization is not the four wall of that organization, but the people that are working there. So you need to change the people that are working there in order to change the organization. So it is the output of the organization that you see that will tell you that the organization has changed. In order to change the organization, you have already worked on the people who are working there. And people now begin to see the organization from another dimension. The improvements they are seeing will not go to individual working in that organization. What they will tell you is that, the Chartered Institute of Social Work Practitioners of Nigeria has changed.
Yes.
They are not talking about the individuals. Though the meso social worker who is working has worked with the people inside. But what people are seeing is the outward look. The institute is what people are seeing. So you are working at this level, you are working at the meso level to change, the organization itself rather than individual members. This social worker may act as a facilitator. Maybe you are being invited as a facilitator into such organization who assists in functioning, who assists the functioning of the group organizations. This may involve creating or strengthening link among members of the organization. Can you see? The work the social worker is doing is among the workers, but the output that people are seeing is the name of the organization. This is more of industrial social worker or social work. You work with the people inside, and that projects the image of the organization positively.
Hello, sir. I can't hear you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. I can't hear you, sir.
When we don't hear from our facilitator,
Can't hear you, sir.
but it is
Maybe the time has elapsed. That's why we can't hear him
it's a
again.
network problem. You see it from your screen. If we don't hear from the facilitator,
This is network issue. It's a network
it's
issue.
a network problem. You will still see it.
Yes,
So
yes.
let us move to our mic and watch him come back, please.